So I'm going to go ahead and open up my Lesson 5 folder. I've already launched VS Code. And I'm going to select that folder. That should display my files on the left. And I'm going to open up the lemon cream cheese crumb cake recipe. And what we're going to be doing is basically converting all of our paragraphs into a bulleted list. So I am going to insert the unordered list tag at the top. Oops, I want unordered. Let's fix that. That should be UL. And at the bottom here, we'll do our closing UL. So unordered list, UL is bullets, OL is numbers. And we need to convert every one of these paragraphs into an LI and a closing LI. So the easiest way to do that is to go into Edit and choose Replace. And obviously we don't want to convert the letter P to LI because it's going to change a bunch of different P's, like the P in teaspoon. So that would be bad. So what we're going to do is do a P and a closing angle bracket. And that's what we're looking for. And then we're going to replace it with an LI and a closing angle bracket. And let's click above the area that we want to change. And then we'll use the little down arrow here. And it's highlighting the first occurrence. And I'm going to go ahead and replace that. And I don't normally do a replace all. I usually just click on replace because I like to see what it's changing. And this goes pretty quick. And it's a lot faster than manually modifying these tags, which actually would be horrible. All right, so we've got that little section changed. And we also need to do the cream cheese and the crumb layers, or sections. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my unordered list here. We'll move this down to the bottom, and I'm just using Control and X, as in X-ray, to cut, and Control V, as in vase, will let me paste. And we might as well go ahead and do that paste down here as well. And then we can put our opening UL. And we don't need that closing anymore. Whoops. Okay. So I'm going to click above the first paragraph, and I still have my replace window open. So I'm going to click on the next, and I'm going to go ahead and replace. All right, so now I've got all of the paragraphs changed over to unordered lists. And our next task is to convert the instructions into a nested list. And this is going to be an ordered list. And that is down here. And I'm going to pull this over just so you can see what it's supposed to look like. So we're going to start out 1, 2, 3, and this is nested, this A, B, C, D. We get to 4, then you'll notice we have another nested list, 5, another nested list, and then we have 6 and 7. So this is going to be an ordered list. So right under the instructions, we're adding an ordered list. And the end of this ordered list I'm going to do Control and X. That is going to go all the way down here. We'll put it right above the closing section. So just Control V to paste. And so I'm going to start here. Well, actually, I'll start one line up and do my little next thing. And the first three we want to change. All right, so the first three are changed. And now, right below the third one, this is where that first nested list needs to go. So this is also going to be an ordered list. But if you remember, we had lowercase letters. So we have to change the style. The default style is for numbers. So we're going to say style equals. We're changing the list style property, list style type, and we're setting it to lower alpha. And I'm just going to select it right here. And let me put my closing angle bracket on there. And then for the closing OL, I got to move that down. So I'm going to do Control and X. And we have 4 lines in this unordered, or in this ordered list. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So the closing goes right here. And I am going to just tab these in, just because visually it helps me know that this is a nested list. And then I'm going to click above that first P, and we'll hit Next, and then we're going to replace. All right, so now we have the nested list. And it just so happens that we're going to have to do another one. Now this line where we've got to make a cheesecake layer, we're going to go ahead and convert those to P's to LI as well. And it's right below here that we have our second nested list. So actually, it's going to have the exact same code as the previous one. So I'm just going to copy that and paste it. And let me move the closing tag. This one has 3 lines in it. So we're going to put the closing right here. And again, I'm going to tab these in just because I like to see it this way. And then I'm going to click above that first P, and we'll go ahead and do our replace. And for the line below that nested list, we might as well replace that one too. And for the crumb topping, this is going to be our last nested list. And again, we're just going to copy that previous one because it's the exact same styling here. And this nested list has 2 lines in it. So the next 2 paragraphs go in that. And we're going to put the closing right in there. And then I'm just going to tab these over. Whoop. And we'll click kind of above that first paragraph, and we will convert it to lines. And for the rest of the paragraphs in this little section, we will also convert those to lines. And let's save our changes. Now, if we scroll down just a little bit, you'll notice that we have some descriptions in here. And we are going to change this to a description list. And a description list works really well if you're defining the meaning of words or phrases. So for our first paragraph, we are converting to DT tags. And these would be data term. This is the term. And then below it is the definition. So we have a D, data definition, DD. Okay, so lemon zest is the term, DT, data term. And then right below that, and you do need to be careful when you're doing this because it's super easy to get rid of your angle bracket. So below lemon zest, we have our data definition. Okay, and buttermilk is a data term. And then right below that, we have our data definition. And you see I zapped the angle bracket, so you do need to be super careful. And then we've got our last one, data term. And data definition. Now, all of this has to go inside a definition or a description list. So above the first DT, we have an opening DL tag. And then the closing tag goes after the last data definition. And we're going to save this. I'm going to press Control and the letter S. And then let's view this offline. All right, so we can kind of take a look here. We have our nested list. And I'm wondering if I missed one. Nope, that's right. Okay, so we have 3 here, we got 4 there, we've got 2 there. 1, 2, 3, that should be 4. Oh, so my numbering got really messed up. I'm gonna have to fix that. So let's go back over here. That is quite interesting. Let's go back up and look and see what happened to that. So we have an ordered list. And we have another ordered list, which is nested. And let's see. I'm just looking at my opening and closing tags, but those all look good. So it should have maintained the correct numbering. But since it didn't, I will show you how to fix that. And let's take another look at this side and make sure we've got 1, 2, 3, those are fine. So it's right after the nested list that it gets confused. There's a value attribute that we can add to the LI tag. And we're going to go ahead and do that. Value equals 4. Let me save. And then let's reload. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now for this one, we're going to have to say value equal 5. Hopefully we won't have to do that for the rest. And we'll save it. It looks like we're going to have to do it for the rest. Okay. And then we've got value equals 6 and value equals 7. And let's save. Now this is how it's displaying in Firefox. Other browsers may have displayed the number sequence perfectly fine, but that is one of the reasons that you always need to check it in multiple browsers. So now our nested list looks good. And let's check our bullets here. And those all look good as well.